In this episode, we are covering the tragic story of Mendel, the animals that Dr. J wants dead, and of course, incest. Welcome to Won't You Be My Gamer? I'm Elise Willems.
I'm Nicole Zavalich, and this is the show where two absolute best friends who love games also happen to love to learn.
And we're back to learn with Dr. J. Dr. J, thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to be here.
You're a professor of biology at UCLA, and I feel like we've already covered so much ground, and we have miles to go. And now we're playing Niche,
Yes.
this genetic survival game.
Yes, it is true. So the point of this game is to survive as long as you can while creating a sort of ideal race of genetically altered kind of foxes.
Okay.
I'm not really comfortable with this.
So there is a lot of inbreeding. There's definitely a lot of incest, but it's in the name of genetics. So
You're giving us a bad name.
that's
I do not endorse this.
wasn't Darwin married to like his cousin?
She was his first cousin, yes.
So
Emma.
it's historically part of the
And they had problems with the
topic.
religious stuff. That was
That
they
was-
were cool with the first. Okay, I see.
Not all their kids did very well,
No.
though, health-wise.
Uh-oh.
So,
I guess that's the problem when it's a copy of a copy of a copy.
exactly, yes. Multiplicity.
Well, that's them. That's the
okay.
foxes.
And there's some prey involved here, or
You know, not really. So that kind of exists in the narrative of how I got to this island. I never really saw that bird again.
you might be wondering how I got to this island.
Yeah, and it was
But-
because a giant bird dropped me.
Okay.
So you're some kind of like saber-toothed weird fox amalgamate. Like,
Yeah.
What is this?
You got it. A saber-toothed fox person.
But with
Creature?
very big eyes,
Yeah,
though, and a big head relative to body size,
Yeah.
so it's adorable.
Yes. And
Yes.
this green like emblem in there on their chest is the amount of moves I have. So this is a turn-based survival game.
Dr. J, you mentioned that you have a dog. I have a dog, and Nicole has a cat. And I think a lot about the ways that household domesticated pets have evolved to manipulate us with their big puppy dog eyes, and they know what they're doing, right?
Oh yes. I think dogs have been, helping humans evolve for a long time, so that we tend to their every need.
Yeah.
And they're very good at making us want to give them food. And oh, look, she's sad. Oh, let me do this for you. So there's been huge. They call it coevolution, but I feel like it's just a genetic manipulation of us by dogs. Yes.
So you're like trying to hunt out your own here,
Yeah.
sort of.
So
So you can breed with them.
so I can breed with them. Yeah.
But this is good. So you've been dropped on an island. So that's exactly the opposite of inbreeding. This is outbreeding, where you take someone gene flow from somewhere else. It's like the farmer who buys a cow from the other side of the country, and it usually makes their population, their herd, better. So this is good. You're bringing good genes to the island.
And it's only a matter of time before I start incesting. Don't worry. But I using my fox spidey senses, I can see that there's another fox on this island that I can try and get to.
Aside from the general ick factor, what is it specifically about like inbreeding among species that is biologically a no-no?
So for every gene, the instructions for how to make stuff, you get one copy from your mom and one from your dad. So you've got two. It's redundant. But that way, if one of them is bad and you've got a good one, you still make the proper chemicals and you're okay. When you start inbreeding now, that one bad version that you have, it might now come together with someone else who has the same bad version. Normally people who are not related, I've got a few weird genes that are bad, but I only have one copy, and you have a few and you have a few. But you never get someone who only has two. But when you start interbreeding close relatives, then they may have inherited that same freaky bad gene, and now you get two copies, and now it shows up as some either bad physical trait, your hips don't work right, or some inability to metabolize something, or just an immune system that doesn't work as well. Just something that it's helpful to have the redundancy, and inbreeding makes it go away.
Big news. I decided to reveal it here. I am both a little fox named Eve and pregnant.
That was fast.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was very fast.
Seemed like there was no courting period.
There wasn't much of anything, to be frank. Oh, look at that. Baby born. So we can start here and see what its genetics are. So we have the female, Eve, and she has, let's see, A and B. And so we have Adam, and his genetics are star and G. So we want them to have a bunch of children, and then we're going to ideally hope that their children find 2 children of theirs that are separate genes, and then breed those as well.
So those are their respective immunities and...
Yeah, so you can see here that, like, this guy has medium ears.
So that he has good hearing.
Yeah, he has a certain amount of energy. He has poison fangs.
So are you cherry picking the best features to create the most optimal offspring?
That would be playing the game to its best. Yeah.
I see. So you're trying to make a monster freak.
I'm going to just breed as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to go,
right.
yeah.
So not really thinking about the survival of your species or the thriving of
I'm here
it,
for a
or-
good time, not a long time.
Okay.
And so are the species I create.
But you're picking the trait that you like, which is, I mean, that's what I did. That's what everyone I know
Right.
did when they're looking
Oh,
for a partner.
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
whether we consciously are thinking about it or not, for sure.
So in the quest to not inbreed,
Again, not this game, though.
by bringing in these different like genetic variables, does that help like eradicate in any way like weaknesses or phase them out?
No, it doesn't phase them out, but it keeps them really low frequency so that, yeah, they're little genetic time bombs, but if they never get paired up with another one, it's fine. It's fine. So that's all it is. It's just keep bringing in the fresh genes so that you don't double up.
I know there are like certain, these genetic anomalies where like if one parent has a certain gene and another parent has a certain gene, a child might be predisposed to getting some type of illness or something like that. And that's just the genetic lottery that you got to roll the dice and play.
Yes. And there's so many genes. There are like 20,000 different genes that the odds that you've got some weird stuff happening making you more likely to get heart disease or I don't know, cancer or something like that. It's always there, but you don't want to ratchet it up. You want to keep it at that lowish level that allows you to make it through a long, happy-ish life.
But then there's also a lot of like gene therapy happening, right? That's trying to...
There's a lot of talk
Yeah.
about gene therapy happening. The actual amount of lives that have been saved or new days of good health due to gene therapy is pretty low. It's pretty low. It's very boring to say, but you want to improve people's lives. It's have them eat a little less, have them move around a little bit more. Everyone likes the high-tech solution, but it's expensive, it's slow, and they don't work that well yet. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
I do see, so good news, bad news. Bad news, both my babies have the same genetics, so I don't want to breed my babies yet. The good news is, using my spidey senses, it does seem like there's some more fox types on this island. So let's move closer to them.
You can join your houses.
Yeah, we can merge our houses.
But then also you're procreating and having all these babies. Why wouldn't I just pay $30,000 to some startup that can clone my dog for me?
They're certainly going to look almost exactly the same. All the physical genes, they are the same. But remember, that dog now is living in a different world. It's got a whole different upbringing, and a lot of who you are, right, has to do with the weird stuff that happened to you as
I put that stuff in that bottle and hid it in a drawer for 6 months.
Right, as you grew up, and what kind of
That's a
response did you get?
callback. I don't know why, maybe around age 6, I thought it'd be a fun experiment to put some food and things in a little container, and then including bread, and just put it in a drawer and forget about it for months. And then, of course, I just rediscovered it covered in mold, and my mom got really mad at me.
Having the same genes doesn't mean it's going to be the same dog.
I think I had
What?
twins.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
I
gosh.
put-
Keep
I
those
did-
twins away from each other.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's a good call. Good call there. They're not identical twins.
Okay, that's even better.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I think we've bred enough that I'm going to start
roll?
moving everyone over to this kind of warp spot and try and recruit some of these guys in the process. Let's see.
How do you recruit them?
I go up to them and offer them food.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
a realistic aspect of the game.
That's how I can be recruited.
Dinner.
You showed up with chocolate chip cookies for us.
I brought cookies. And now look.
Best friends.
Yes.
What if your twins have babies with another set of twins?
Right, and they're both identical, then their kids
Because isn't that a
would
thing?
be like, instead of cousins, they would be like siblings.
Right.
They wouldn't be identical, but they would, yes, that is a thing.
Gosh.
So I just decided I could breed with this one.
There's
so
more
I'm
love.
gonna.
Be cool.
No chill.
Be cool, Nicole.
Be cool.
Have some Riz, okay? I don't know if you... oh, gosh, I'm sure your students use all kind of slang that...
Of course.
Skibidi
yeah,
Ohio,
yes.
sure.
I know what it means. I don't know how to use it.
Same.
I'd love to get Riz.
808
purchase
crash
this
out.
Riz or have it.
It's people watching. If you donate pbssocal.org/gamer, we might be able to buy some Riz. I'm not sure.
I think that bear thing just killed one of my babies.
100%.
Like
That bear thing just... Because you don't have Riz.
No.
That's why. And that grizzly bear, just, you see, gosh, this is the kind of jokes you can expect on this show, Dr. J.
Riz.
Mendel, not just a composer, there was also someone else who shared that name, but was involved in biology, genealogy. Who was that?
There was Gregor Mendel.
Gregor Mendel.
And everyone learns in grade school that he was a monk. And he was. But back then, this is the 1800s, you got assigned to do research. It was like a university, and he was supposed to study inheritance. Charles Darwin had already figured out, here's how populations could change. But it all relied on this fact that kids look more like their parents than they look like some random individual. So inheritance. But Darwin just said, we know that's true just by looking at people and animals, but we don't know how it works. So let's just leave that. And then we'll go on to the rest. And all the rest was good. So Mendel is like, I'm going to figure out this inheritance part. Why is it that offspring look like their parents? And he just did crossed, white flowered plants and purple flowered plants. And then he'd look, he's like, oh, hey, they're all the same color. But then he'd cross them again, like what you're doing. And then they'd look a different way. And he would have to reverse engineer what was going on. And in the end, he found out, he's like, hey, we got one copy of something, the instructions from your mom, one from your dad, and out of those two, you have your body. And then when you are going to reproduce with someone else, you only contribute one or the other, and half the time it's one, half the time it's the other, but that's how two partners can contribute. And he figured it all out, which is remarkable. And you read what he wrote. He did one paper, and he figured out genetics and heritability. And it's really sad. At the conference where he presented this, it said, Gregor Mendel spoke on inheritance in pea plants. There were no questions.
Oh,
and
no.
Nobody understood what he was doing. And it just kind of passed, and they had him stop doing research. It was taking up a lot of money and time. And he eventually came to think, maybe I didn't figure anything out at all. And then he died. And it was like 30 years later, some other people said, hey, we invented genetics. We figured it out. And all three different people at the same time were like, oh, wait, this other guy already did.
Time out, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole, there's a lot of these weird creatures on screen, and they're all getting bigger.
Yeah, I already killed some. Some have died of hunger. Some have died of bear.
Oh, okay, these are your offspring?
Yeah.
Which one is the original you?
Well, Adam already died.
Oh, no.
Having enough food to feed everybody is kind of the biggest challenge right now for me.
Well, and I think that's an interesting commentary maybe on the way that societies are forced to change by the resources they have or how they evolve.
Yes. Yeah, you look here and you think, well, how on earth could you feed all of these? And a weird thought experiment sometimes is you wonder, like, oh, let's say some fish has 1 million eggs that it lays, and you think, well, how many of those cod eggs eventually become cod? And you're like, I don't know anything about cod. How would I know? But we do know this because we're not walking around stepping on cod, that every pair, the female and the male that fertilize the eggs, when they die off, there are 2 more that are left, and that's it. Because if they left twice as many, then next generation there are 4, then 8, then 16, then we'd be walking on cod. So whether it's cod or these little things or elephants, every pair gets replaced with 2. Otherwise, their population covers Earth or it shrinks. So you having trouble finding food, that's one of the ways that only some of them make it. And which ones make it? The ones maybe that carry the genes that cause them to be better at making it.
Yeah.
And the population changes.
All right, so I really just need berries.
Berries are the lifeblood of humanity. Well, I guess
humanity.
zoomanity?
Are some of them good at finding the berries and others not good, or they all rely on you?
They all completely rely on me.
Wow,
Yeah.
kids, right?
Yeah.
It's like the coyotes of Los Angeles now who have been forced from the hills and
Yes, I know.
Except they're resourceful. These guys are not.
They are. They sit there.
So I'm going to slowly move us. Hopefully I have enough. No, I have 0 food. Someone's going to die next turn.
oh no.
Someone's definitely going to
pick?
die. No. Oh, here, someone died right here. There's a skeleton.
Yeah.
Let's try. We really want to kill this bear to eat it.
Oh.
And this bear is so strong.
What is your opinion on
Eating bears.
well you know
gamey.
not necessarily the mosquito and amber, but what's happening now with like, oh, there was this extinct animal and we've found DNA and we're bringing it back, or do you think they were just never supposed to survive?
No, I think a huge number of extinctions are just random bad luck. So just because they're extinct, I don't think means they should be extinct. However, I think that you get all this press because it's really cool and we feel like we're playing God, and it distracts from the real idea that right now we're wiping out tons of species as we mow over, pave over all this habitat. But if you think, hey, no, we can bring them back. It's like, well, you can't bring them back if they can't go out and get food.
Yeah.
Or if they have to cross the 101 to get food or something like that. So while it sounds good in the short term, in terms of actually maintaining lots of cool species, charismatic megafauna, we need land. So anytime you are wiping out land, the end is going to happen for a lot of these species. So yeah, in a zoo you could have them, but I go to zoos and it just makes me sad.
Yeah, Nicole is a annual past
I was
member
at the zoo yesterday.
At the LA
Doesn't
Zoo.
it make you sad?
We don't go look at the monkeys.
We don't look at the monkeys or the apes. It makes me sad sometimes, but I like to think of it as like educating and opening the hearts and minds of people who don't see as animals as worthy of. I don't know. Not obviously they have rights. They have, they should be happy if possible, and they should be fed and treated.
preserved. And
Yeah,
they're-
and like if you are going to have animals to slaughter, there really are no rules. If you're going to have a sanctuary, there's a ton of rules. So it's kind of like we're close to acknowledging that like their well-being matters. So I tried very hard to kill this bear, and I just must genetically be very bad at fighting because I've killed many a bear in this game, and it did not take so many swipes. So I think that I have to get some food and just kind of run.
The struggle here makes it kind of bleak.
Yeah.
And I know that for so many species it is, but aren't video games supposed to be fun and
No.
rewarding?
Yeah, welcome to
No.
the world of indie games.
There's no fun to be had.
All right, I did just kill like a bunny and got some decent food there. I do tell the animals at the zoo that I'm a vegetarian, and like
good.
I'm.
Seeing them, and people go and they see that they have behaviors and they have personalities.
Yeah.
And all those things, I think you're right, they cause people to be much more inclined to understand the value that they have. But as soon as I start imagining their life, it makes me sad.
Things are really bleak right now. We either need to make something happen for ourselves, get some food, or kill that bear, or maybe just die, but in a way that best serves the ecosystem around us.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I vote for finding food. Let's not give
Let's
up.
live.
We can do it.
Asking a controversial question on the subject of extinct species, are there any species where you're like,
Bring them back.
No. I'd say it's good
I'm
that
okay with
I'm
it.
glad that one's gone.
Off the record, when I hear
entirely
about,
on the
about
record.
any mosquitoes
Oh, yes.
going extinct,
Oh, yeah.
because
100%.
I'm the person that they
Same.
eat, and I know that any time in any ecosystem you move one thing or you take one thing out, everything just gets messed up. So I know it's not good, but man, I hate them.
I hate them too.
So I will not miss them.
What would be the fallout of mosquitoes? Like spiders wouldn't have as much.
Right, you'd have a whole bunch of things would not have would not have their food, and they'd disappear, and that would cause bigger things to disappear.
The good news is I had a baby, a beautiful baby named Cora.
Oh, okay. That's exactly like you, as
Exactly
they all do.
like me. The bad news, my other one died. So I think that as we close out this chapter of our lives, it's important to learn about the cycle of life.
And we're ending the show for today, but we will be back here next week with Dr. J again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. It finds a way, right?
Life finds a way, death finds a way as well. But where can people find more of your work online? We're so thrilled that you brought us copies of your books and we
Yes,
get
you
to
can
read
find
them.
my book, Mean Genes, anywhere that books are sold, or The Secret Syllabus to learn how to get more out of your college experience, or a textbook, What is Life? A Guide to Biology, if you want to know all biology.
And some
There
of
it
your
is.
photographies in this book.
Yes.
It's
So
great.
those are the things where you can get more of me.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much again. And if you want to learn more about the show that we're making here and support us, you can go to pbssocal.org/gamer. And Nicole, what can they do there?
They can find out how to donate, and donations are what make this possible. And
Keep us from going extinct.
keep us from going extinct. That's beautiful. Beautifully said. Support our biology. Make a donation today.
And we'll see you next week.